Hi.
I'm Tati.
I'm Amelia.
Nice to meet you. Sit down.
Okay.
This is going to be a 20-minute session. I'm just going to have you fill out this confidentiality agreement, just saying that everything will be confidential in this meeting.
Thank you. I'm a bit nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Right.
So let's get started.
Okay.
Just tell me about yourself.
Okay. So I'm 27 years old. Okay. I just graduated from my MBA in June, and I recently got a job. It took me all summer, but I recently got a job in September at Panasonic, and I'm fine when I talk directly with someone when I'm one-on-one, but I think what I'm here for is mainly that I have big issues with talking in front of big groups of people.
Right.
So, yeah, I just can't do it. It's become a big issue, especially because at work I need to be able to do it. I'm doing all these presentations. I'm a marketing specialist, so thanks. Yeah, it's a great position. I was really happy with it, and I like it. Like I like the creative aspects of it. I like having to write ads and review trends. But when I have to present the analytics and present my plans, I just get really tense, and I can't really I can't perform well, and it's really affecting my life, and I just I just want to be able to change that.
Yeah, well, it's a common problem for a lot of people. So when did this begin?
So I think this began, I was thinking about this last night, because I thought maybe there's a root to it, but I think it began in kindergarten. You know how there's those kindergarten shows that kids put on where they go up and they dress up as trees or fruit or animals or whatever, and then they do like a little play where they go up and say what they are and go off. Well, I remember I was really nervous about that, just because I've never been on stage before, and I was a really shy little kid. So there's this friend of mine, Sally, and she before the show told me that there were hundreds and hundreds of people out there, and that depending on whether they clap or not, that's your grade. And she probably heard it from like an older sibling. They probably were trying to get her scared. And if the older siblings, they actually get grades, but like in kindergarten, you're not getting a grade. But I was really nervous because I thought that I was going to be graded on it. And then she goes, "Oh, look, I can see your parents." And then it really hit me, because I thought, my parents are going to be seeing me. They're going to think I'm going to be graded on this. And they're going to think I'm going to be so disappointed in me. And what if I don't get a good grade? And whenever I go to school, they're telling me, "You're going to do great today, honey. You're going to do awesome." And what if I did bad? You know, what if I disappointed them? And in front of all these people, and everyone could see, and it was like a mass decision that was going to be made on me, and it's a lot of pressure for a kindergartner to think that. And that was when I went up on stage, and rather than saying my line, I just ran off the stage. I didn't choke up or anything. I just ran because I just didn't want to do it. So I just kind of gave up, more so than anything. And so I think it was then that started, and then from that moment on, it just kept going on. It kept progressing, where I couldn't do presentations in school. It was hard. You know how like in elementary school and middle school.
Did you ever tell your parents? Did you get help then, or talk to anyone?
No, I didn't. I didn't tell my parents. I was really nervous because I thought if I tell them, then they're going to be even more disappointed. And they didn't say anything. Like we left the performance, and they just didn't talk to me. They didn't they didn't tell me what was what they thought. They didn't even mention the fact that I had run off stage, you know? Like, they didn't, it's like they didn't care. They probably, I don't know, maybe I'm just assuming something, but maybe they were trying to, make me not feel bad about it, but I thought it was because I got such a bad grade, they were disappointed in me, so we just didn't talk about it. And then it made me feel worse, and then I feel like I got such a bad grade that I cried in bed like a lot that night. And then the next day I went in, of course it's kindergarten, so we finger painted and I got over it. But it was that moment that ever since I just I choked up, like whenever I had to speak in front of any groups of people. It was hard, so.
Yeah. So what are some of the symptoms you experience with public speaking? Or when you have it?
When I have it, oh yeah, I probably feel a lot of nauseousness. I actually have thrown up. So like, it started out where it was just where I just couldn't take the pressure, but then like at certain points, I just felt so nauseous beforehand that I for instance, in high school, I had to do a presentation just in front of the class, and I got so nervous that I went into the bathroom and I threw up before it. I remember that was really embarrassing because, of course, you're in high school, right? You're trying to figure out who you are and what you want to do in college, and whether there is. I mean, that never really stops. Like, I remember I'm 27 and I still am thinking, oh, do I really want to be in marketing? But anyway, that's off topic. I remember I was just really nervous, and I went in the bathroom and I threw up, and there was tons of people in there because it's a high school bathroom.
Yeah.
And sure. It was really bad. So yeah, definitely a nauseous mess. I'm fine talking one-on-one with people, but then when there's any more people, then I get really uncomfortable. I feel paranoid. I get anxious. I have panic attacks. So I just can't handle it. So I tend to clench up. I mean, I'm a little nervous now. So when I'm one-on-one and I get nervous, I talk really fast. But when I'm in front of a big group of people, I just can't talk, and so it makes it uncomfortable when, for instance, I'm with friends and I'm meeting new people and stuff. So it's hard.
So have you noticed the symptoms decreasing or getting better or getting worse over the years?
Definitely worse. So I started out, as I said, just feeling pressure, and then I felt anxiety in middle school, and then in high school I definitely, like I said, I got panic attacks, but I also threw up in the bathroom, and that nauseousness has gotten worse. So I just kind of it's just kind of gotten worse and worse, and now it's gotten to the point where I will sometimes call in sick right before a presentation and have someone else do it for me because I do the PowerPoints. Like, working is fine. It doesn't affect my work, but it does affect when I have, well, I guess printing the presentations is my work, but like the research and stuff no problem, I get that done. Then I get someone else to do the presentation for me because I can't do it. I won't sleep the entire night before. I will toss and turn. I'll pace. I'll throw up during the night, and then, I mean, that's a valid excuse to not come in because I'm actually sick from worry, really. And then, so yeah, it's gotten to the point where I mean, I'll just avoid it completely, and I can't because it's part of my work. And I think I get even more afraid because my job relies on it. Like, it is part of, like I said, it's not the work that I do on a daily basis, but it is significant to what I'm doing. So I'm really afraid one of these days they're going to notice this pattern. Like, I mean, it hasn't been there that long. I've had a month of training and so forth, but yeah, I think that what's happening is that it's going to eventually get me fired, and that makes me even more nervous. And then I can't sleep all night because I think, if I do a bad presentation, then I get fired, and then I don't have a job. And then I was really glad that one of my work benefits was getting counseling. So yeah, so I can come in here and talk to you, which is great because I need it. I need the help so I don't have these symptoms because they are getting a lot worse.
Right. So have you told any of your friends or coworkers at work or anything about this?
No. I tried not to because I'm afraid that it's going to make me seem incompetent. I don't want people to think that I'm unable to do these things and unable to work properly or unable to do what I need to do to get these presentations and to let the company know the trends that I found. And I'm afraid that they're going to think that that this social obstacle that I have means that I'm an incompetent or unworthy person for the position. That will just break my heart. I'll feel devastated by that. I think I really strive to be a perfectionist. That's definitely true. And I want to make sure everything I do is completely perfect, because if it's not, then I feel like I've disappointed myself as well as others. So I'm really afraid that even losing my, if it does happen, if I lose my job, then I'm going to feel it's just going to set me off. I'll go into depression because I've already having panic attacks and anxiety, and I just don't want that to happen. Oh, so I don't tell anyone. Sorry, you kind of got off track there.
Yeah.
I don't tell anyone because I don't want them to think of me that way. I don't want them to think of me as less than perfect.
So you haven't talked to when you were doing your MBA? You haven't said anything to anyone?
Oh, that's interesting. Because my MBA did take a lot of presentations. I had to do a lot of presentations and that. But that was different because in my MBA I had to do it over a period with the same 50 people. And I got to know everyone, and oftentimes the classes weren't the entire 50 people, but I knew everyone because I spent 2 years every day with these people, so they ended up being really close to me, and I kind of developed a connection. So it was more like more like I am speaking one-on-one, so I was still really nervous, it still gave me anxiety, but it became easier there because I knew them.
So do you feel more comfortable doing public speaking with people around you know?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do. Because I think the problem with speaking at work is that oftentimes it's people that I don't know. We have groups coming over from Japan, and because that's where Panasonic, some of the headquarters are, so we have people come over from there. And of course they're very straight-faced, they're very professional. And I don't know them, and I don't know the group, so I don't know what their reaction is. It's with my friends and people I know, it's more of a social thing than it is. So I actually met someone at the MBA who had the same anxiety. I was really nervous one day because it was a class. And there were some people in the class I didn't know, and I thought, oh great, this is mixed with my friends, but it's also about people I don't know. And so I went in the bathroom and I was washing my face with water, and she comes in and she goes, oh my god, I don't think I could do this. And I was thinking, wow, is she feeling the same thing as me? So I went up to her and I was like, you'll do fine, don't worry. And she goes, how do you know? And I was like, because I have the same thing, and I did tell her because I felt like she kind of knew what I was going through, and it was more an empathetic thing. Whereas everyone else in the MBA, they were super charismatic and really talkative, and they had all been doing sales before, so they all knew how to talk to people and how to get up and present in front of hundreds of people because they were it was just easy for them. And so, like, I never told anyone else but this one girl, and I just never knew her again because she was in that class, like I said. It was, I think it was an accounting class, which made it even worse. That's why I was so nervous, too, because, like, that's not marketing. That's definitely numerical, and I just was having a hard time because I had to present, like, it was a module that I had to talk about it. I just never saw her again because, like, she was one of the people that were in a different program. She was in public administration, where I was in business administration. So it's a bit of a different program that she was in, and I just never told anyone since then.
So you're having a hard time sleeping.
Yes.
Work, any other parts of your life that's it being affected by?
Well, yeah, I think so. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, I find that that it does affect my relationships because, like I said, when I'm in groups of people, I just can't talk if there's new people coming into the friend group, and I just I see them and they just close off, so I can't build really new friendships. Like the girl I met at the washroom, that was one-on-one, right? So if I'm one-on-one, I can make new friends, but if it's like a big group, it's really hard. When I started the MBA, I was so scared and so nervous that I didn't come into like half a week's classes. I would go in every other day, because like I'd convinced myself I need to go to school, I need to do this, but otherwise I just didn't want to see these people. Didn't want to have to talk to them or really get to know them. And there's some really nice, really open people, so I think that kind of helped a little bit because they just kind of took over for me. They took over the talking when there was big groups, which was great. That was awesome. But nowadays I don't have that, and I'm in a new location, and I just can't seem to make new friends or have a support group, right? Because that would be.
Yeah. So what is your goal, or what do you want to come out of these lessons?
Well, I think I'd like to, of course, learn how to manage this anxiety, how to manage this phobia of mine, and kind of take control of it so that don't get really anxious constantly, and so I can improve at my workforce. And I know that's probably a big step to take, so I think a small step would be to reduce my daily anxiety and to be able to just get by day and realize that I can eventually work my way up to being comfortable with public speaking and do that properly.
Right. So are you doing anything right now currently to improve? Any techniques or?
Well, like I said, I go to the washroom, I wash my face with cold water. I try to get good night's sleep. I've started taking sleeping pills, which probably isn't the best.
Yeah.
But that helps me sleep at night so that I can get a full night's rest before I have to present. Yeah.
Do you do anything before you make a speech?
I mean, I pace. I go over the speech. I rehearse it so many times that I have it memorized so that I don't have to really worry about mistakes. But then I get worried that someone's going to ask a question and then I'm going to be totally taken off guard. So that's kind of what I do.
Well, at least knowing your lines it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But really, what can be the worst that can happen at these speeches? I mean, so as I was saying, you just need to do your best. So that's the most important thing. Having small mistakes can't really be. People won't notice it that much. That's what you just have to remember.
Okay. Yeah, because small mistakes do seem like a big deal to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not probably it won't be that long. I mean, it'll be over and done with as soon as you know it.
Okay.
So maybe take like a drink of water.
Okay.
Before you make a speech,
Okay.
hydrate yourself.
Okay.
Do you do you exercise a lot? Because that can also relieve stress.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because the endorphins, right? Okay, that's probably a good idea to get some more exercise. Would you say like exercising the night before or closer to the time? I don't know.
You could do either. I mean, what do you like? Do you like night times? Do you like mornings? Depends on the person.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Probably more
Getting
exercise.
a fresh breath air is always beneficial.
Yeah, that's true. So, like, more outside time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really haven't been because I've been so nervous, but maybe forcing myself to go outside to do that.
And make sure you take deep breaths also before your presentations.
Okay.
That'll calm down your mind.
Okay.
Or even just taking 5 minutes beforehand.
Okay. To take deep breaths?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just having your alone time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. To take some time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they do have, like, a room where I could go in the bathroom and take some alone time. It's a good idea.
Yeah, so do you want another session at a different time? Or?
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, it was really nice to be able to talk to someone about this and just kind of get it off my chest. So, how about the same time next week? Like, this is a good time because it's right after work and I could just come.
And then after a few sessions, I usually just leave it for a little bit and then check back with you in a month or so.
Okay.
See how you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.